Hey guys, happy holidays and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go through the process of transferring my Syngonium. You can also do this with, I'd say, most other Aroids. I haven't had any issues with other types of Aroids doing this, but transferring my Syngonium in particular into the water culture. So this deals with unpotting, cleaning off the roots, what to leave, what to remove, how to rinse, and then finally how to place in your vase or your glass or whatever it is that you're using. I found this beautiful hybrid. It looks like some type of a bob illusion, but with speckles. It's just very interesting. So I said, mine. Anyway, first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your plant and you're going to remove it from the pot. Of course, that's what you're going to do. Beautiful root system. I wouldn't expect anything less. Now you can see that there are, let me move this closer to you guys. You can see that there are a lot of roots and it's pretty root bound. Now, what I do, again, this is just what I do. You see some aerial roots had made their way into the soil as well. What I do is I don't necessarily keep all the roots. I keep the main roots, but those little fine feeder roots, most of them I remove. Why? Because they are accustomed to being in soil. And they're usually the first thing to die once you transfer them over into water culture anyway. So let us begin. This is, again, what I do. Everybody has their own method, but this works fantastically for me. As you have seen in my other videos, they are thriving and doing amazing in water culture. So you massage the root ball, not too hard, but just loosening up all the soil. This takes a little while. It makes it easier for the soil to kind of fall off on its own, at least from the main roots. What was I gonna say? Oh, so you don't want to have this freshly watered. I prefer them to be dry, like almost wilting, almost in need of watering. It's just easier to get all the soil off. Now you don't have to. This one is a little bit damp because I didn't want to wait to do this video. I just figured let's do this now. And I really, really wanted to pot this one up into water because I am so afraid of soil in this growing space because things tend to rot at an alarming rate. I'm not sure. I mean, I think we've spoken about this. Well, I've spoken about it, but hopefully you guys listen to me. I think it's because there's not a lot of circulation, not a lot of airflow. The temperature is kind of lower, higher humidity down here. It's like a ground level growing space. When my last growing space, which I still have, but I don't have many things there, was a second floor. So it was a little bit drier and warmer. But anyway, so I didn't want to wait. You can see already I've gotten a lot of the soil out, just teasing the roots a little bit and massaging in between the large roots alongside the stem. A lot of times with the Syngonium, they have pups growing. So the little babies are starting to sprout out of the main stem right underneath the soil line. You want to be careful of that if you have any. This one doesn't have any pups at the moment, so I don't have to be extra careful. But you can see what I mean by the main and the feeder roots. Here's the main root, and all these little fine roots that come off are the feeder roots that I have to remove. In my opinion, if I don't remove all these, they are going to rot. If they're out of the water, because part of the root is going to be out of the water in the air, they'll dry up. They're just not, they're not sturdy roots. These main roots are the most sturdy. So once I get all of the soil out, or at least as much as I can, because I don't want to leave any soil on this. Hope you guys can see this. Let me move the light over a little bit so you can see better. Hopefully that's better for you guys. Okay, so once I remove all of the soil that I possibly can by hand, I then start to remove these feeder roots. And I know this probably seems rough and people are like, oh my God, what are you doing? But trust me, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time with Syngonium, and they do extremely well once they adjust, and it doesn't take them very long. So I remove all of those feeder roots. These are the roots that can survive anything. I mean, chances are these were aerial roots like these up here. So if they dry off, they have a bark, and they do retain moisture on their own. So they are very sturdy roots. Again, all these smaller roots, they, in my opinion, for me, they go. I can't keep them. They're not going to make it. And the best thing about this is when you remove roots like this, it really sparks the plant to start growing new roots or to branch out water roots from the main roots. Sorry, I know I'm in the way. So again, pulling off the feeder roots, which are like the sub roots, I guess you could call them. And all of these will grow back, except they'll be water roots and accustomed to being in water culture, and the plant will thrive extremely well in this setup. So this one here, it could go either way almost because it's kind of thick, but it doesn't feel as sturdy as I need it to be, so I'm going to pull it. This one, same thing. This one's a little bit too flimsy. I don't think it's going to make it. It's coming off. All of these guys, coming off, coming off, coming off. And just like anything else, when you're trimming a plant, whether it's the roots, root pruning, or if it's the stems or leaves, like in bonsai growing, it's going to stimulate the plant to grow more. So the great thing about it is when you're doing this with water culture, it stimulates the plant to grow more, and it has a ready supply of water and nutrients. This is an old leaf I don't need. Water and nutrients because they are submerged in water. So it's not like they're depending on you to keep watering them and feeding them nutrients and all that sort of stuff. Here's another leaf I'm just going to remove. So this one came out pretty good, and it was pretty easy to remove all of this soil, as you can see. There's some subroots in here, these feeder roots I want to get out, and they're clinging onto some soil. Little bit of soil in there. Clean them all off. Clean everything off like so. All right, this one really should go. It gets too fine at the end, so I don't think it's going to make it. This one is nice and firm, and we're looking good. The next step that I do is I soak and rinse off the roots. Now, I don't have a sink here right in front of me. It's in the other room. So I do have a pitcher of water right here. And I'm going to just soak it, shake off anything that might be clinging to these roots, like some old soil. And again, if you have a little bit of soil in here, it's okay. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but stuff like this, I don't know if you can see, there is still some soil attached to the root. That's what has to be removed. Otherwise, you'll start to get root rot. And in one of the other videos you probably saw, if you saw the other video, the new growth that comes out ends up coming in like burnt and dead and mushy. That's a sign that there's something wrong with the roots. So you take out the plant, check the roots, and give them a little clean. So these guys, there's still some soil in here and in here, but looking pretty good. Getting all of this organic material off of the roots is the most important part of this whole process for water culture. All right. So we're looking good, guys. Look at these roots, okay? Nice and clean. Only the main roots, feeder roots, water roots will sprout out of these. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So now, put this down. I have a vase already selected, which is right here. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Plastic. I use glass and plastic. Lately, I've been liking plastic vases because you can use them for years and years and years and years. I worry about dropping glass or banging it into something and it shattering, Plastic is a little more durable, but again, use whatever works for you. You can go to a thrift store and get them really cheap for like $1. Or you can go to like one of those dollar stores and they have them there too as well. So here you go. You just place it in. Now to start, because this is brand new, I am going to swap out this water every couple of days, just because I know that there is some soil still stuck in there. I know there's some poop, not really poop, but you know what I mean, stuff attached to the roots that I really don't want in there while this is, getting acclimated to the water culture. So I'll just swap out the water, and eventually you'll start to see the little feeder roots growing off of the main roots. Now, this is beautiful, isn't this? Look at this. This is a gorgeous plant. It's ready to go. It's going to do fantastic. Now, after I rinse out a couple of times the water so that I keep it clean, eventually I will then fill this so half the roots are in the water and the other half are exposed to the air. Now they stay moist because water wicks up that outer coating of the roots, and the top part allows absorption of oxygen, which is kind of very important, as we know, for plant roots and plant survival. So that's it. Give you an example. Let me go get it. The poster child for Syngonium in water culture is this one. Oh, I have two here, but I'm going to show you one first. This is my Regina Red. It is huge. It has been in water culture for quite some time now. You can't even see it. It's just so big. I can't fit it in the view. But look at these roots. These roots are pretty amazing. And the leaf growth, all the new leaves, the baby leaves are fantastic, doing extremely well. Those roots are just gorgeous, and they're clean, and they're all water roots at this point. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, the water is only down here. It's like maybe a centimeter to an inch or half inch, let's say a half inch of water. It's getting close to time where I'm going to have to refill. And I don't refill all the way up to the base of the plant. You can, especially with a plant of this size, because they're very thirsty plants and it'll start to drink it really quickly. But I'll fill it up to so that half the roots are in the solution. And obviously this plant gets fed. As you can tell, it's very hungry, Syngonium, but beautiful. The other one I have right here is a more recent transition. This one is a moonlight Syngonium. Beautiful, beautiful, like mint green, kind of whitish. Look at all of these new leaves that are growing. Let me shine the light over here so you can see it. Look at all of these new leaves that are coming up since it was put into water culture. Tons and tons of new leaves. Look at the new roots. These were aerial roots that are reaching for the water, and they made their way in, and they are thrilled and excited and happy. So you can see in the different stages, this one is more recently transitioned, and the other one I just showed you, Regina, has been in water culture for a while. This one here is brand new, so we will see more of this, but it's going to do just fine. If you have any questions about growing your Syngonium in water culture, please reach out, because I have a huge Syngonium collection, just almost as big as my Coleus collection, because what I collect is Coleus and Syngonium. I have other plants, a lot of other plants, but my passion is Coleus and Syngonium. So all of my plants, my Syngonium, are all in water culture. I do not grow any of these in soil. So if you have any questions, please just leave a comment, and I will definitely get back to you. I love talking plants, as you know. Hit the like if you enjoyed this. Hit the bell if you want to be notified. Subscribe if you haven't. Why not, right? It's fun stuff here. And you can grow beautiful plants in a very clean environment without soil if you want. I mean, I don't want to knock soil for everyone that uses soil. Just for me, it's a horrible situation. It never works out. Never works out for me. But look at this plant. These leaves are just so pretty. I can't stand it. Anyway, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Thumbs up. And I will see you in the next video.